somebody's gone through COVID and wants to donate plasma, no, and wants to contribute to society, or no, and what all can a person do to contribute? Like, no, what time should they wait to give a plasma? Who can give a plasma? No, and how should they be able to do that? If I've seen so many people, like when I launched this app for my team members, and as I mentioned earlier, out of 10,000, 5,000 want to really contribute, and make a difference and save people's life. It was very big, and the first shot itself. Now I'm going to make it a bigger, larger population for my intermediaries, for my business partners, to my sister companies. So maybe I'm going to have 5 lakh people, and 2.5 lakh, 3 lakh would want to contribute, but they don't know how to contribute, what to do. So what's your advice for people who, one, contracted COVID, wanted to donate plasma, or somebody who wants to help people, help save lives? What is it that you should do as a volunteer, as a COVID warrior? I think just all 3 of you, any comments on that? I think that will be very useful for all of us.
Plasma is actually controversial, plasma treatment per se. So there's a lot of discussion going on whether it should be in a treatment itself or no, because the relatives get very panicky. They feel that it's really life-saving, which it is not. It is probably just supportive, and it's not useful after first week. That also they should be told. There's no point giving it too late. A male patient who has developed COVID, more likely moderate to severe COVID, can donate after 42 days of illness. Okay? One who is on mild illness may not have developed antibodies. There is no point. And we don't, I think, check antibodies in the people. A female patient who has had a pregnancy also cannot donate. Young females, I don't know whether they check the antibodies and take or they do not take. That is important. But a lot of running around is done by relatives, and for getting plasma, it's always off short. So we should tell the patients and their relatives that it is not life-saving. It may reduce the hypoxia. The results are also controversial. What do you think, Dr. Sridhar, about convalescent plasma treatment?
The biggest study on plasma was done by ICMR. It's called the PLACID trial. And that quite clearly concluded that plasma had no benefits. We don't use convalescent plasma at all in our hospital, except when the family, in a desperate situation, requests us to give it. We once again explain to them that we do not think it helps in our experience or is not research-based. But if they want to give it, then we give it. It is the same thing I do for people who bring Siddha medicines, who bring Ayurveda medicine, say they want to give it. We are very upfront. We say there is no evidence that it works. But if it gives you satisfaction that you are doing everything you can, then we are happy to give the Siddha medicine, Ayurveda medicine. But it's on you, not on us.
Can it be counterproductive? Because I am told that it can allow virulent strains from developing. And when Dr. Sridhar, you said that when the patient's relatives and attendants wanted the convalescent plasma to be given, particularly when the patient is critical and he is probably in a cytokine storm, that time I think convalescent plasma should not be given when there is a cytokine storm. What's your view on that?
I don't think convalescent plasma should be given at all. But when the situation is desperate and family is keen for everything to be done, and sometimes when you know the outcome is going to be bad, and then at least you want to give family the feeling that, right, they did everything that they can. So it is for care of the attenders that I accept giving plasma or Siddha medicine during desperate situations, rather than because of any benefit for the patient.
Cytokine storm is little later.
So in this pandemic, Tapanji, infodemic is a problem. People read something about plasma and they go and disturb the doctors. Exactly. So problems of infodemics in pandemics.
Yeah, exactly, Dr. Prakash. That's why I got all of you together. That's a big problem. It's not a small problem. See, once we are embarked on the journey of saving lives, I realized that it's not about what to be done. I think none of us have any clue. We read some piece of information and then a panic happens because we know that person who's fallen ill, be it a colleague, be it family members. And then a panic happens. Panic, like Dr. Sridhar said, you want to do everything, and then you want to pull all resources. And that may be actually even counterproductive. I think that is precisely why I thought get all the experts together. So we talk about exactly what should be done and how one should behave in a situation like this. Because I think the kind of fear which this has got created is bigger than the pandemic. I think the mental health pandemic is going to be bigger than the coronavirus pandemic, is what I believe. As it's progressing and as people get more and more scared and more worried about what's happening and the way this is building up. That is something which is very worrying for us. And that's exactly why I thought let me get experts to talk about this. Any last word from any one of you on this subject that you feel that you want to tell people from your experience? And
I think the most important thing is wearing a mask. That is the most important thing in holding the pandemic, no matter what we do. Because most of the people, they don't want to wear a mask, or they feel they've got the vaccine. People are actually quite tired now. It's almost 13, 14 months, no socialization advice and all. But I think we are all in it together. That's what important. It is one pandemic, one disease where the whole world is together. So we should all observe universal precautions. Treatments are there, but nothing is really pure. Prevention is the best cure, rather.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita. Dr. Prakash?
I think I'll have to appreciate you, Mr. Tappan, for taking this initiative. Great gesture. God bless you. We should continue to debate.
I think we have to keep on talking more about it, bringing real facts, rather than getting worried on the newspaper and how things are happening. Dr. Sridhar?
So I just like to say, let us stick to science. We've tried a lot of other things. We believe this epidemic will spare India because of the spices we add in our food, because of various resistance concepts, immunity concepts. Nothing has been proven. So let us stick to the science. Let us stick to what science shows, and let us deal with this pandemic in a scientific approach.
Thank you. In today's world, and I say it from my heart, I think my belief is the doctors have really proven the fact that they are right now more precious than anything else. I think earlier I used to always admire the soldiers fighting for us at the forefront. But this time, if I have to think about the doctor, the respect that all of you have earned in the difficult times, the way you have served people, I think it is unbelievable. Like many hours together. I think 36 hours, 48 hours. And anytime I call up any of my friends who's a doctor, irrespective of what time of the night is, they get up and they're very, very happy to serve. I've never seen such dedication, such passion from doctors. I know it's tiring you out, but as an honor and as a gesture that all of you could take some time out, for the tigers amongst doctors, we have planted trees for you in the Panna Tiger Reserve in Madhya Pradesh, India. We request the certificates to be put up, for the doctors here. So here, Dr. Prakash, here, this is a tree for you in your name. Dr. Kavita, a tree for you in the Tiger Reserve. We planted.
Thank you so much.
A tree for you, as a token of gratitude for all that you do. Thank you very much, for taking time out and coming here. I think it is a very helpful session, and a lot of us who have heard this would be very, very benefited from it. And please, like Dr. Prakash mentioned, don't get carried away by news. Speak to a good doctor friend and get the right issues. Don't panic. We'll pull this through. I think second wave is there, and whatever we hear from Spanish flu, and like Dr. Sridhar said, scientific research, maximum one more wave, third wave, and then I think we should be fine, and this should be behind us. If you get infected, take time, take rest. Like Dr. Kavita said, it may take a couple of months. Don't panic. This will be fine. Just keep on testing yourself. I have a good doctor with you, who is able to guide you well, and this too shall pass. But thank you very much, all of you. Such an honor to have you on the show.